Hi Candy. I wanted to make a video response to the question, has this ever happened to you? Video that you did, because seriously, I think I lived in a haunted house. I lived in Minnesota for 3 years, and the second year I was there, I moved in with a friend, and she told me, oh, we have a ghost in our house. And I'm thinking, haha, whatever. And she's like, no, really. So I didn't believe her. I just thought, she's crazy, of course. And I forgot about it. So one day I'm sitting on the couch and I'm sitting over here and the door to the bedroom is over here. Well, you can't see my hand. Here. Diagonal. So I hear this banging noise and I look over and the door is opening and shutting. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's getting blown shut. So I got up to make sure all the windows were closed, and they were, and nobody was home but me and my cat, who was sitting on my lap. Well, we sat back down, and my cat sat with me, and all of the hair on the back of her, on her spine, stood straight up. And the door started rapidly opening and shutting, and I could even hear the doorknob turning. So I kind of got freaked out, and I was like, oh, well, maybe there really is a ghost in this house. So I think about 2 weeks passed or so, and I came home from my job, and I used to work night shift, so I was sleeping. It was probably about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, so I was sleeping before work. And I hear a knock at the door, so I'm like, what? I'm sleeping. So the door opens, and I look over, and I see brown hair, so I think, what is Julie, my old roommate, doing in here? And I'm like, hello, what do you want? She didn't say anything, so I just turned, back to my other side and went to sleep. And I asked her later, I said, what the heck did you want earlier? She's like, I haven't been home. And I said, yeah, you were in my room. And she said, no, I haven't been home all day. Yeah, okay, freaky. Yeah, the next day when I was sleeping for work, I was laying in bed reading, and my light kept flickering on and off, and it was an old house, so I didn't think much of it. Well, I look up and the lamp is seriously, flickering on and off, and it just fell over, and it fell right on my head. So, I think I fixed my light problem. I think that our house was haunted. Oh, before I forget, we always used to find pennies everywhere, jammed in door locks, and in bed with that. We'd find pennies everywhere, in the litter box, in our beds, on the floor, everywhere, pennies everywhere. And nobody would be at our house, even if we were gone on vacation or whatever, and we'd come home, there'd be pennies everywhere. And one night we were all sitting on the table having a drink, and 3 pennies dropped onto the table, and there's no way there was pennies on the roof. So it's kind of freaky. So I was kind of freaked out by that house, change being thrown at me, a lamp falling on my head, people in my doorway, yeah. And I really think it centered around the room that I had, because my roommate Julie was telling me that her fiance, one time before I moved in, had walked by the room and saw somebody with brown hair on the computer, and he's like, Julie, and she didn't answer. And he's like, hey. So she's in the living room and she says, what? And he's like, holy, I thought you were just in the room. There's somebody in that room. But there's nobody there. So I think our house was haunted, and it was kind of freaky. I mean, people would always say, weren't you afraid of the ghost hurting you? And aside from the time when she dropped the lamp on my head, no, I wasn't afraid of the ghost. When we moved, we didn't see any more of the ghost. So I wonder if she's still there. And another experience I had, and I think this is a really neat story anyways, was my grandma had cancer, and my grandma and I were super close, closer than my mom and I are, closer than any of me and my friends are, closer than, I think everybody has that one special person, and she was mine. So when my grandma passed, it was really rough for me. She was 56 and she had breast cancer. And about 2 or 3 nights later, I had a dream where I was at my grandma's house and this door opened and there was all this bright light. She came walking out and she said, "Natalie, I love you." And I said, "Oh," in my dream, I said, "Oh, I love you too." And she turned back around and she said, "I'm almost ready." And she turned back to me and she said, I'll always love you and I'll always be here." And then she said, "Okay, I'm ready now," and turned back and walked into the light. And so that was kind of neat because I really think that was my grandma saying goodbye. And I really treasure that dream. And there's been a couple other times where I dreamt about my grandma. Like, one time I was telling my mom about that dream, and she said, "I wonder why she never talks to me." Well, that same night I dreamt that my grandma told me, "Your mom never listens to me, that's why I never talk to her." And I told my mom that, and the following night, my grandma talked to her in the dream. So I put a lot of value on those dreams, so if you think I'm crazy, don't be mean, I guess, because I really think that was my grandma talking to me. And I really treasure that because I miss her so much. But yeah, so I guess I've had a couple paranormal experiences, and I thought that I'd share them with you. So, hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.